What's up, guys? It's the Red Hawk Director here with my incredibly professional setup as always, and it looks even worse because I'm sunburned all over my face. I'm back from vacation, if you couldn't tell, and that's basically all I did was just get sunburned over and over again. What this video is this is actually a pretty important update video for a certain demographic of people. Basically, for anyone who enjoyed my reviews, and I'll get to that in a second, but. First, I'd like to say my schedule for the next couple of days. I'm going to start alternating. I have 5 compilation albums left. I have 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. They will go up every other day starting on the 3rd, because today I have this. I'm also going to upload a mash that I did for Ethan like 3 weeks ago. It's on his channel. It's basically going to be the same on my channel because I don't have the time to actually render anything out. So I'll link his video in the description of this video as well as the mash I upload later today. And I suggest you watch it over there instead because it's going to be in better quality. Anyway, so that's that. But yeah, I'm doing this mostly for one because it seems like you guys are getting slightly burned out on them. So with a day in between, it should be fine. And second, I want to get a couple of other videos out. So on the 4th, I'll be doing the remixes of Cold Skin. On the 6th, I'll be doing the Rocket League compilation stuff, and on the 8th, I'll be starting the second Monstercat song tournament. So get hyped for that if you enjoy that, which that seems to be one of the most that was pretty popular, and I imagine it'll only get more popular and more well received as we get into actually like better songs where it's not like 8 good songs and the rest are terrible. Well, not terrible, but not good. But anyway, that aside, let's get into the real meat of this, which is the Monstercat reviews. All right, so Monstercat retroactive reviews is dead on my channel. I'm just gonna say that right now. It's dead, the way it is, at least. I'll explain. So the way I did it was pretty similar to MC reviews. I was gonna go through every compilation starting with 1 and just review every song on the album. And I did that with 1 and 2, and I did not have the motivation to do 3. And that reason's there's kind of a lot of reasons for that. The main reason is that MC Reviews already did it, and I don't want to just be kind of stepping on their toes. So it's kind of hard to do it. And so because of that, that's ending like it is. And that's not a big deal because there's 3 quote-unquote new series I want to... Well, okay, it's 2 new series and an updated... Or not an updated series. Man, I'm wording this terribly. So the first one is... And these are... Basically, all 3 of these series are taking up parts from this. So the first is Red Hawk Rates. If you haven't been reading it, I made like a video on it once. But it's still running. I'll link that in the description as well. It's on a blog spot, so you'll have to read. But it's easier to read than watch, in my opinion. And it also gives you something to read when you're like on the bus or at school or something. It's easier to do that than it is to watch a video or listen to a video. And more importantly, it's easier for me to do. It's much tougher for me to do like an entire video on a song because I have to research it and I have to actually record it. I have to edit it. Whereas with this, I can just write for like 20 minutes, listen to the song on loop, and I'm done. Unless it's an EP, that takes a bit longer. But that's the other thing. This allows me to do everything. And honestly, if I'm committed enough to it, I can probably catch up with the way it is now. I doubt that'll happen, but if I am really committed enough, I probably could do it if I pushed them out every day. It's been a little bit inconsistent over the last like month or so. But once I get into school, it should be a bit better because I'll be able to do it more often because I'll have the drive to do it probably. But so that's one thing, and that's basically what that takes up is me getting all the old songs, and really just all the songs. The second announcement, the first real new series, is definitely the one that's going to be most similar to it. It's just going to be called Monstercat Track Reviews or something like that, unless I come up with a better name. So this will be pretty similar in format to Monstercat Retroactive Reviews. I kind of somewhat announced this, but the difference here is that it's not going through album by album by album. Instead, I'm going to pick a new album to do a series on. So, for example, with this, I'll be starting with Uncaged Volume 1. I'll go through every song from chronological. I will review all 31. I thought that was a pretty good one to start with because it's got a good mix of great songs, decent songs, and not so good songs, as an interesting mix of artists as well. You've got some heavy songs, some chill songs, some epic songs, etc. Uh, and it's also the newest one, so that's good. But I'll kind of be hopping from album to album, and I already know the first few I want to do. Like the next three after this, I know which three I want to do, and I will not announce that now. But some other small differences. The main one probably will be that it's gonna be face cammed, and this will be better when I actually get back to my apartment because I'll actually have a real setup where it's not this light shining down on me with. Oh, shoot! It's I'm looking at myself while doing this, and it's tough. We've got this duck right here, and we've got this painting right here, and it's a little weird. And there will be a bit more interesting of a background at some point. I'll probably record a few of them while I'm here, though, because I've already reviewed a couple of the songs, and I definitely have a lot more to say about these, and it's a lot more interesting to do these than it is to talk about Blow Explode by Arion, where there's really just not a whole ton going on, or Dreaming by Project 46 or something like that. It's where it's just kind of saying the same thing, and most of these songs there's enough going on that's interesting to talk about. And the reason I'm face camming it is because it's not to be more professional. I think face camming in general is more professional, like how Landon does it, the Wonky Angle does it, Aaron the Sizer does it. But the main reason I'm switching over to it is because it's more interesting to look at than a blank screen, and I don't want to do any more editing than I have to for these, because it's already going to be a pain in the ass enough actually, like, sitting down and focusing enough to talk about it, as well as sitting down and actually analyzing it, which I do beforehand, because I'm not going to analyze it on the spot, because that'd be choppy as hell. But that's kind of the main difference, but most of everything else is staying the same. Like, I'm gonna be running through the track chronologically. I'll be sprinkling my opinions in as well, because that's just what I do. It's the easiest way to do it. So in that way, it's gonna be pretty similar to how Mika and Pete over at MC Reviews do their reviews, I guess. But it's gonna be for newer songs, and it'll be my own personal touch. There'll also be a few other things like analyzing the title of the song, and I'll be analyzing the arts on albums. I think 19 is technically where they start doing like arts for most songs, but I think 21 is where they start doing it for every song. So obviously for this, every single song has an art. I'll be able to go through them well. Obviously it's not going to be as good because I'm not an art critic by any means. Not that I'm really a music critic either, but you know, who's counting? And other than that, I guess there would probably be a few slight differences. But this way, if you watch my rankings, you kind of know what you're getting with the review. And this is more so a way for me to formulate what I think about the songs in more detail. And that's why I like starting with the newest album, because there's a lot of detail in them. But yeah, that's that series. I'll do like a proper intro for it whenever I plan on starting the series, and which will be pretty soon, like within the next week or two. But yeah, there's that. And finally, the last new series I'd like to announce, and this will probably be a pretty irregular series. I'll probably be like one every month or two. But it's gonna be called EDM Epics or Electronic Epics or whatever I plan on calling it. And basically, these are going to be songs that have really a ton going on, and I think are some of the best in EDM. It'll be Monstercat and non-Monstercat, but most of the Monstercat songs I'll do will probably be EP songs. So, I don't know, off the top of my head, like Vicimus would be a really good one, or Draining Atlantic by Muzzy. Either of those would be really good ones. I have a couple others I'd plan on doing as well. Songs that you guys may not realize I like a lot. But there will be a lot of non-Monstercat ones too. And I don't want to spoil which songs I want to do, but there's like already 10 of them that I really want to do. So this may be a more regular series than I'm making it out to be. But since they're going to be epics, I'm going to be sitting down and really analyzing them and trying to get every last detail. And because of that, I'll be starting with Timberwolf by Muzzy. It's my favorite song on Monstercat. I feel like it's a good place to start. It's got a ton going on. And spoilers, I'm probably not going to do 15 anytime soon. I'm going to try to do a mix between old albums, new albums, and kind of like 2014 era albums. But 15 is not one I plan on doing anytime soon. That's not... I probably wouldn't do that for another year or two. So it wouldn't be redundant doing Timberwolf. I said I was going to do every single Muzzy song, or every single Muzzy epic. But Spectrum is on this album that I'm doing right now. And then Endgame is on 16, Lost Metropolis is on 20, and Children of Hell is on 27. So I could, if I planned on doing any of those, I would be kind of screwing myself by doing it here because I didn't have to do it anyway. So you know what I mean. But yeah, but that's that series. There's not really a whole ton to explain. I'll be starting with Timberwolf, but I don't know when I'm gonna actually do it because I have to actually sit down and really have the will to do this because if I review a song on this series and it's a song I really care about, I want to do that song justice. So yeah, that's basically all this is. It's a long video, but it's because there's a lot to explain. So hopefully you're excited for that. If not, then I can't say I really blame you. But it's something I'm interested in. The reason I wanted to do something like this is because I'm an opinionated person in general, and ranking videos are a good way to do it, but it doesn't really do my opinions justice. One thing I've noticed is a few people have gripes with me talking more about the song in relation to other songs by the artist rather than how I think of the song, and they're just assuming that I rank songs that way. Like, oh, this is not good for Grant Bowtie, so it's bad for the label. No, that's not how it works. I just, in general, I'm more balanced with the artists I like and dislike more than anything, and you can really tell that in the new re-rankings. There's only a few artists I have consistently high and a few artists I have consistently low. Most of them bounce up and down. Like Direct will go from top 5 to bottom 5 in an album, or Stone Bank will do that, or Tokyo Machine, or Grant Bowtie, or Grant Bowtie's not a good example, but people like that. Rogue is actually a really good example for that. And it's just easier to... That's why I want to do the series, so I can really get my opinions out on these songs rather than just having the little one-sentence reviews that I have in ranking videos. So yeah, that's the end of this. More on the Monstercat review series in like a week or so, whenever I do that. And that's it, actually. That's it for this. That's it for this update video. Very long update video, but I don't know. Hopefully it was worth it to you.